Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, today we want to take a look at the Bitcoin chart as we are heading towards the end of the weekend. It's not over yet, so please enjoy your Sunday. Later today we have our member live stream in which we're going to talk about relabeling corrections when invalidated. We definitely had enough corrections recently, absolutely. And yeah, let's start here on the daily chart. Actually, I'd like to start on the longer time frame. There's something I want to talk about. I'm talking about the long-term log chart, long-term logarithmic chart. And you can see that on this chart here, we are obviously looking at this larger degree third wave. You talked about this before. The idea is we are in this very long-term uptrend on the Bitcoin chart. I see this larger degree third wave as the end of the bull market. I'm currently looking at 125 to 140K. I could see possibly a stretch to 180K in a very favorable environment. There are a few more squiggles to the upside that are needed here, like another wave 3, a 4, and a wave 5, and then, you know, that's it. Basically looking for 2 or 3 more highs in this rally. And the next wave 4 could be quite substantial, and then the wave 4 afterwards as well, and that might really add some time to this current bull market. But then that's it. And as soon as this larger degree third wave is over, I'm watching for an A wave down, which could be quite rapid. Then a B wave, which could even overshoot. So this will be quite interesting. I think there is at least a chance, because we are in a wave 4 then, there is at least a chance that we are going to see new all-time highs in the correction. Yeah, and people will still think might actually think it's the next bull market. And then we're going to see that C wave down here. And okay, if we ever will get into this support zone, no idea. This is just estimated and it's only a support zone. It really depends on how low does this A wave go. If this B wave overshoots, the C wave might never get into this region, but we'll see. Too early for that. Just wanted to share with you, there are a few more squiggles to the upside, obviously, maybe throughout 2024 to continue this bull market. And then the fourth wave to the downside should follow. This larger degree third wave, which finishes this entire bull market. I mean, this is a bull market, you could say, looking zoomed out, right? That actually started 2015, yeah? I know people don't normally see it that way, but it's a third wave that started back then with the little bear markets in there, of course. But this is going to be a huge correction, in my opinion. And we're not there yet, but I think the next one will be big. But it might actually, funny enough, include a new all-time high, because B waves can overshoot. So one reason why I show you that is there is something that we call the pi cycle top indicator. You might know it. It is definitely an indicator that I'm observing in the background. It is an indicator that in the past historically has, let's say, been able to forecast the top of the bull market, I think with an accuracy of 3 days. So it's definitely something I'm observing in parallel. I'm not going to rely on it, you know. There are additional indicators I'm watching. But this indicator consists of 2 moving averages, and when the shorter time frame moving average crosses above the longer time frame one, so basically if orange crosses above green, that is typically an indication for this top. Here as well, yeah, we had the cross, and then we had a cross here. So obviously now we are still quite far away, you know. There is no cross, but I think it fits quite well. It fits quite well, this Elliott Wave count, in which we could go higher. During that period, the green and the orange moving averages will get closer together and at some point might cross. So I'm definitely observing that. So that's just one indicator I'm observing in the background. Again, at the moment we're quite far away, but I think they could meet around 140K, you know. We'll see. Certainly this and some other indicators are worth observing. I did observe them very closely, like in the bear market. It's always something that's called the pi cycle bottom indicator and others. Now sort of in between, it doesn't make much sense, but I still know where they are, where they stand. And as we get closer, you know, to possible bull market highs in the next few months, I mean, as I said, it could take the entire year. They will get interesting again, because they can be used to, you know, they can be used in addition to the Elliott Wave scenarios. Now let's go to the daily time frame. Before we do that, we update regularly different charts on X as well, Twitter. Yesterday I published specifically here on X a H-bar video, so if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out. Also make sure that you follow us here on Twitter, X. Always find it important to have different communication channels, so you never know what happens one day, so it's good to be a bit decentralized. Also updated here ETH yesterday, so if you're interested in additional updates, feel free to follow us there. There's also some stuff about mindset, all sorts of other stuff. Just make sure that you only follow the one with the blue check mark, and bear in mind that we would never send you direct messages on X or any social media platform. Of course, you can also join our WhatsApp channel if you like to. It's completely free. Now let's go to the daily chart. This is the 1 hour. No, let's go to the daily first. This is the third wave, one of the third waves, within the larger third wave that I actually just showed you. We have likely here in this next move up, and it's possible that the correction that started middle of March is over. It dipped into the support zone, reversed. What else do we want? It did what it needed to do. It took a bit of time, but that's what wave fours do. They take time. They bore people out. Some of them scare people, but they most often just bore people out. And this fifth wave could send us to like 85 to 90K. That's the idea. It's possible we've started that move up at the moment. Looking at the daily chart, it's absolutely still possible until we break out that we still fall back in the range. In this case, this would just be a high B wave, and the high B wave can it wouldn't even be unusual. It's not even an overshooting B wave yet. So even if we push higher, it could just be a high B wave. It depends on the structure really, and if Bitcoin is able to maintain micro support levels. Only a break below 50,667 would indicate that something more bearish is playing out. Okay, at the moment against 50,667, the focus on higher, especially here on the daily chart. Now on the smaller time frame, we have different support levels that we can observe, just sort of even smaller degree. So you see here, this is the 1 hour chart. You see this white wave count, which allows for another retest of this main support area I showed you on the daily time frame. 50,700 is the key support here. And in this scenario, we have in the white count an A, B, C structure. So this B wave could easily still extend. If we then break below micro support, there are two micro support levels I'm going to talk about in a minute. If we see this move to the downside from here, then we might target sort of the area between 61.7 and 55.3K. At the moment, it would point towards 58K. But until we really have a confirmed top, can't really give you a proper downside target. At the moment, the market is a bit slow. It's weekend, but it is expected that towards the end of Sunday, we'll see a little bit more action. And in the yellow count, the low could already be in, absolutely. And if the low is already in, then this here was a 1-2 setup. I'm counting that as a diagonal overall, this move to the upside. I mean, you can count it as an impulse. It's a bit unclear to me. Don't like the structure at all because it's a bit ambiguous, but maybe the third wave finished here. This here was the fourth. I'm now watching if we can get so that also takes us to the first micro support level here, 64,360. And if we then really zoom in, there's really an even smaller degree support, which is at 67,780. As long as that's holding, I'd like to see one more high here. And then if we get 5 waves to possibly 69.9 or 70.2K, we have some good confirmation that a low was in here on Thursday and that we're on our way in the 5th wave. On this time frame, the next milestone target would then be 76.5K or even higher. But first of all, I need to see the 5 waves. It's been doing so far what it was, well, ideally supposed to do in this structure to form a 5-wave move up. But as always, it's sort of messing around in the 4th, right? It's just, 4th wave weekend, we know that. If this is an ABC structure, then next support is 68,634, where it could react in wave C of 4. And then 68,473, 68,126. These are just really just for this micro 4th wave. If we break below this range of micro supports, then 64,360 will become relevant again. Yeah? I will still be watching if it's holding a higher low regardless, because there is a perspective where we can say, okay, maybe these R5 waves is indicated in purple, but that wouldn't be reliable. I prefer another 5, another wave 5. Yeah, that's at the moment my view about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.